But what if I told you we could get photos just like this of your car with the camera that we all carry in our pocket? I'm talking about your phone camera. If you're watching this channel, chances are you're a car enthusiast. People who love cars tend to photograph them, just like people photograph their pets or artwork or other things like that. You want to show off, the mods that you've done, how nice your vehicle looks, and you just want to show it to the world, or even just keep it for yourself. But what tends to happen is when we go camping or off-roading, we generally just get a little bit of video of us doing something. We don't really have like good imagery of our vehicle while we're away. But what if I told you we could get photos just like this of your car with the camera that we all carry in our pocket? I'm talking about your phone camera. Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Long-term viewers of this channel know that I have another channel all about night sky photography with your phone camera. So I'm kind of combining the two channels here to bring you something that is going to change the way you capture what you do when you go on your trips. The video will be split into 4 sections. One is for everybody, all the things that you need to know in general about taking this sort of photo, and the second step is for the people with iPhones, then the people with Pixels, and then the people with Androids. So if you have an iPhone, just watch the iPhone one. If you have a Pixel, skip the iPhone one, go to the Pixel. You get the idea. Regardless of the type of phone that you have, you are going to get much better results if you have a tripod. All phones these days, doesn't matter what sort, have some sort of night mode built in. And it's generally going to let you shoot between, say, 5 seconds and 10 seconds when the phone is handheld and you're taking a photo of the sky or taking a photo of the subject in the dark. But that's it, 10 seconds. You can hold that phone up and take it just like that at night time, and you might think, oh my God, that is amazing, didn't even know it could do it. But it will get so much better if you use a tripod. It's bloody awesome. You see, all phones, once you put them onto a tripod, the camera or the phone itself senses that it's on a tripod and no longer moving, and it will let you shoot longer, up to 4 minutes in some cases. This may not seem like that big of a deal, but when we're shooting with phones and we're shooting at night sky, more time means more light, and more light means more stars. What type of tripod you use is up to you. Tripods are rated on the weight that they carry, and they're designed for like big DSLR cameras and so forth. So when we're using it just for a phone, phones weigh virtually nothing as far as tripods concerned, so you can get whatever you want. You can get nice little, well, short, compact sort of tripods that also extend out to this sort of height. And they will do you all round, and you can use these sorts of tripods too. These are like little flexible leg ones, and you can put them on the ground, mount them into trees, put them around poles, that sort of thing. But realistically, we're driving around in these sorts of things. Time or space can matter, but when you look at the difference in these two, this one gives you much more flexibility. This is a Niwa tripod, LT07, I'll link it down the bottom. Great tripod, I think it's about $100 Australian, and it even comes with a phone holder. I have a much more in-depth video on tripods, about tripods for this. I'll link it up the top here for you. Next, we are going to want some sort of light. Any light will do. Ideally, we would have a few different lights. You might have a light to shine on the outside of the vehicle. You might have another light to put inside the vehicle. The more lights that you have, I'm thinking like 2, 3, 4, the more options that you have. It doesn't need to be a super bright light. In fact, I would suggest the other. You'd be surprised how much light is captured when we're doing such a long photo. So things like adjustable torches, things like LED torches, even the torch that is back on the back of your camera, on the back of your phone camera. So if there's a few of you there, well, just use each other's phones with the torches to do the light painting on the vehicle. You don't have to light paint the torch on the vehicle, but we're looking at a difference between this photo and this photo. So which one do you want? And finally, we want to talk about the location factors, the planning factors, that line of stars that you see up behind this photo. That is what is referred to as a galactic core. If you want that in your photo, it's not there all year round. I've put a very detailed video together of capturing that. I'll link it up the top here. But for now, for the sake of ease, because this isn't like a dedicated photography channel, if you want to have a look at this, things like Photo Pills is an app, things like Stellarium, another app, that will let you forecast where that line of stars will be through the night, because it moves all through the sky at different times of the year. to plan what time of the night you want to be able to take that photo. You will also want to avoid light pollution, and doing what we do on this channel, we're usually out in the bush and stuff anyway, so we're typically away from light pollution to capture this sort of photo. But the further away you can get from the light pollution of towns and so forth, the more stars you're going to see in the end photo. And lastly, the local environment. With trees like this, you may find that that row of stars is moving up behind these trees, so be mindful of that when you're planning it. And lastly, the weather. If it's all cloudy, and it may end up coming in a little bit cloudy tonight, we'll see. If it's too much cloud, you're not going to get the photo. But you're still going to get a good photo of your car, but not necessarily the photo of the stars and the car. So you need to weigh up those options. So just play it by ear. Now we just need to wait until it gets dark and come out and take some photos. As we wait for the sun to go down, we've got to make sure that everything is charged. And the way we do that is with today's video sponsor, which is Jackery. Jackery has a new product out, the Explorer 1000 V2. And I'll tell you what, this thing is small and it packs one hell of a punch. Eagle-eyed viewers of the channel will know that I've been using Jackery products for years now. I keep one in the camper trailer because it fits nice and tight in that spot that's in the back of the camper trailer. And I use that for powering induction. I use that for powering all my lights, Starlink, all that stuff. And it's never ever let me down. The Explorer 1000 V2 packs a 1264 watt-hour lithium battery. That's enough to power a 12-volt fridge for a couple of days. You can power coffee machines, induction cookers, and if you're really hard up, you can even power your microwave from it if you really want to. Let's have a look at this thing. Hit the power button here, touch and hold it, it turns the unit on. You can see there on the display we're at 100%. That's because we've charged it up before we've come on out here. Underneath here you've got two USB-C ports, one at 30 watts, one at 100 watts. So you've got a USB-A port there at 18 watts as well. Then you plug something into there, you push that button and it turns it on and starts charging for you automatically. Over on this side here, this is your AC charging. It's got two GPOs here, general purpose outlets. You can turn that on there. It's got a 1500 watt Cinewave inverter. So that's going to let you do all sorts of things like coffee machines, toasters, all that sort of stuff. If you're into that glamping sort of thing, you can absolutely take this with you and use it. If you're out there all night and you want to have a bit of a caffeine hit while you're out there taking photos, astro photos, well, you might want to take this sort of thing along with you. And above that there, we've got a light, and the light does a few different things. You turn it on once, it comes onto this brightness. Once more, it goes a bit brighter. Once more, it does an SOS signal of 3 on long, 3 on short. To charge this thing up, well, it's dead set easy. You can plug it into the wall before you leave home and take that power with you to the field. Or you can go and get one of Jackery's solar systems there, and I've been using them for years as well, and they are bloody good. You can get a 200 watts solar panel here, and this is going to keep me out there pretty well indefinitely, depending on my power usage. It's bloody good. What I like about this particular unit is it's only 11 kilos. This thing is like light as a feather. Well, 11 kilo feather, but you get what I mean. It's super small and it's super lightweight. The handle folds down. You can pack it pretty well anywhere. It's a nice rectangular sort of shape, which is great for packing in your vehicle. What's this thing for? Well, and you guys are watching this channel, you know what a Jackery is. It's for weekend campers. It's for four-wheel drive enthusiasts. It's for people who haven't got a 12-volt system set up in their rig yet, and you want to just get out there and explore the world and take some 12-volt and 240-volt power with you. This thing will do it all for you from that little tiny box. On a side note, the Jackery that I've had for years, whenever we've had a power outage in our home, I bring the Jackery out of the camper trailer, plug it into the house, I plug in my Starlink, plug in the fridge, plug in the telly. Your life goes on like there was no power outage. It's a great backup. You can also, it's not a UPS, but you can put it in so you've got trickle down power if you like. So you can plug in, say, your laptop to the unit and plug your unit into the power on the wall, and if your power goes out, you don't lose power on your laptop. It's mint. All right, that's the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. By now you should have all your phones and lights charged up. Let's go and take photos. It's dark now. I'd love to be able to tell you I'm out here the same night, but through the magic of television, it's about a week and a half. Actually, it's about 2 weeks later, because it absolutely pissed down rain. The car was nice and clean. It's not now. I had to go through a bit of mud on some of the roads to get to where I wanted to get to. But it's set up now. The galactic core, that line of stars, is up there pretty much directly behind the car. I'm taking the photo from just over here, so we'll get sort of this angle of the car that will light. We're going to do the iPhone first. So if you've got an iPhone, this is how you do it. Better turn them off. So as you're doing this, I would encourage you to turn the lights off, your interior lights off, unless they're ones that stay on for a little period of time, then turn off. that can be quite effective, but it'll take a bit of playing around to get that. All right, so we've got the iPhone here on a tripod. As I said earlier, it's dead set easy with an iPhone. What's this? Oh, a Woburn torch. This is too bright for what we're doing here, but I'll talk about this in another video. The iPhone is the easiest one to do, and we're going to light it a few different ways. Let me just show you how we're going to do it. I'll use a torch like this one here. It's a fairly bright torch, and I'm going to use this to shine on the car in this shot here. That'll help you get the camera to where you want it to actually be. And the galactic core, you might be able to see there's a couple of stars. Yeah, they're the 2 pointers just up above that you can see in the shot there. So that's good to go now. So the setup of the camera here really isn't that much that hard to do, really. Just going to shine the torch there. That's all good. It's all composed right. If we go up to the top in the middle there on the iPhone, you've got that arrow up the top there. Down the bottom, you've got that circle with the line through it. That's night mode. You're going to touch on that and swipe it all the way to the right-hand side, and it'll give us 30 seconds. There's a lot of wind blowing right now, so this phone will sense that little bit of tiny movement because it's broad and it's sitting up kind of high. So we'll wait for 30 seconds and take the photo. Inside the car, I've got a little LED panel light that's on 1%. I can't even see it with the naked eye, but we'll definitely see it through here. I'm going to have to turn this video light off so that it's not, because that's all lighting up the car at the moment. And when I turn this off, you should be able to see now that little bit of light that's inside the car. So it's on 30 seconds. I'm going to hit the shutter button, and whilst that's going, I'm going to quickly go around and paint the car with the torch. Just that little bit of light will do. All right, photo is done. There you go. That's pretty bloody good. That's the first shot. And look, honestly, I'm happy with that. I don't think we wouldn't be happy with that. All right, let's talk about how the iPhone actually does this. The iPhone is different to, if you haven't done this before, it works a little bit different to most cameras. So it'll take a 30-second photo, but in reality what it's doing when you put it on a tripod, it'll give you the option for 30 seconds. It's taking 3 10-second photos and then stacking them together. And it does that for exposure, as in how bright it is, and it does it for the focusing. So it focuses up here on the front of the car, as well as focusing on the stars in the sky, and it brings them all together in a nice photo. That's essentially how you do it with an iPhone. Now you can do a number of other things here. We can shine the torch a little bit less, a little bit longer, all sorts of things that we can do with this to give you different effects. We can put a colored light inside. We can put a light on the back. You can do all sorts of things with this sort of imagery, and honestly, you can have a bloody lot of fun with it. All right, that's the iPhone. Let's have a look at, say, the Samsung. Now, the Samsung phones, or all the Android phones, this one is a Samsung phone. Some Androids will be a little bit different, but generally speaking, they're going to be the same. So open up the camera, and here we are in the camera. We're looking at the photos, just checking the composition of that shot again, and it's still pretty good. Now, you've got night mode here on this camera. Where are we? It was right there. We didn't need to do it this way. And we've got night mode there. I could turn this off. We'll hit the night mode. It's going to go for 6 seconds. It's not going to give us a great deal of light. Just put a bit of light on there with the Woburn torch. It'll be not a long shutter here. So there you go. It looks like shit. Not happy with that composition actually. Just check that. Ooh, it's a little bit too high. That's better. Right, so the wheels are in the shot now at least. That's handy. So the night mode on this is not that good for doing what we're trying to do here. So we're going to go back from night mode and scroll all the way across to Pro. And in Pro, we're going to set up a few settings here. On the left-hand side, you've got ISO. That's just basically how sensitive the camera will be to light. Next, and put that at 1600. You can go a little bit higher, but it introduces too much noise. 1600 is good. The speed go for 30 seconds. The focus go for multi. It's going to focus on the foreground and the stars. There is a better way to do this on this phone. I'll show you that in a second. And really that's about all. I'm going to hit the timer up here as well for 2 seconds. This phone is a little bit more sensitive to movement. And then I'll hit the shutter button, I'll turn this torch off, and we'll get a little bit of light on there. I'll duck around this side as well. Not too much light. The thing with doing the light painting is the longer you've got two options. You can either make your torch brighter or dimmer, or make the amount of time, the duration shining it on the vehicle, longer or shorter. And longer will make it brighter, and obviously the brighter torch will make it brighter as well. There's the photo, and well, you can't be unhappy about that. Let's have a look-see. Look, it's focused on the foreground pretty well. We've got some good stars in there as well. It's not too bad. I think we can do better though. What we're going to try here is the Expert RAW. Now this happens on the S22 Ultra maybe, definitely S23, this S23, 24 and 25 you can definitely do this. So Expert RAW, and we're going to make sure that this little icon at the top there with the stars and the line through it, going to make sure we've turned that on. And we'll leave it as short. Yeah, short is going to give us a 4-minute photo. Make sure that the focus mode is multi-mode. And I'll turn this off again. Hit the start button. And we're taking right now a 3-minute long photo. And what it's doing at the moment is it's taking multiple shots of the stars, so we get lots more stars in these images, as well as nice and aligned stars, so they'll be nice and sharp. The trick will be how long we hold the torch on here for. So I'm going to hit the torch out a little bit now. I'm going to go around this side here. Same side, we're painting the vehicle the same way each time. And then we'll just come back in about 2 minutes and see how the photo is. First shot that I did with the Expert RAW, I didn't light paint it enough. And I'm going to have to treat this like I do with a Pixel, which I'll show you in the next little bit of the video. And that is to keep constant light throughout most of the exposure. So I've had to set my video light up to do this, and that's much better. This light that I've got going on here is a bit too orange, if you like, for this sort of photo. It's taken the colour away from the car a little bit, but it's adjustable as well, so we can put it to white. You can put it to whatever colour you want. This is purely up to your imagination, but the mechanics in the phone is what I want you to take away from this video. That's the Samsung phone. Next, there is another way you can do it with the Samsung phone, but we're getting a little bit too in-depth for this channel. That is taking multiple shots of just the car, focusing manually on the car, and then taking another few shots of the stars, manually focusing on the stars, and then putting them all into a computer and bringing them all together. That's the way you do it with big boy cameras, if you like the DSLRs and stuff. But my channel's all about mobile photography, and because everyone has one, you can get better results with a big boy camera. But everyone can do this. Anyway, let's get the Pixel and try it. All right, the Google Pixel. So every, let me turn this screen recording on so you guys can see it as well. This is by far the best phone as far as ease of use and quality image that we can do with astrophotography on any phone, I believe. And you can do this since about the 3A, I think it was, or Pixel 3? Pixel 3 or 4A, one of those two is where it started. So if you've got a phone since then, you can absolutely do this. It is dead set easy because this phone has an astrophotography mode. So we're going to scroll across. This is just in the camera mode, in the camera app. And we're going to go into night sight. And when that little icon down the bottom there, that shutter, I was going to move the phone around a little bit. See how it's got a little moon there? It'll change to a group of stars in a second, just like that. And it's because it has sensed that it's on a tripod. Just want to make sure that this car is well compositioned. I think it is. The light from this video is helping with that. I'm going to go down a little bit, I think. See, I'm just holding it there, looking for that front wheel. That'll do right there. So that's all you need to do as far as setting this phone up to take this photo. I am going to turn this light off here through the video because you do a pixel photo somewhat differently. When we take a pixel photo, it is taking 15 or 16 photos of 15 or 16 seconds. I can't remember which way it is, but let's just say for the sake of this conversation, we're taking, you push the button once, it takes 15 16-second long images and stacks them all together, which is why this is the best. This is a good phone for doing like this sort of thing with light pollution and stuff. I've just found this one to be the better one as far as ease of use and everything goes. The downside of this is with the light painting of the foreground subject, as in the cruiser, we need a constant light on that cruiser. So I'm going to use, this is one of those panel lights that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to put it down, way down on, very low, probably 10%. Let's turn this off. I'm just going to check in that car how it looks. I won't go 10, I'm going to go 5. And this is actually just part of it, really. Yeah, 5. See, if you look at how I'm moving that around the car, you can see that light moving a little bit. 5 is where it's going to be. So we'll leave it at 5. And I'm going to put it just down here on the ground. And basically that's going to stay there for the entire time. The other one that I've got in the car is the same as that one, and I'm probably going to get this one here and bring it right down, as in how bright this torch is, bring it right down, and then put it around the other side there. And then we push the shutter button and we wait 4 minutes to take the photo. The biggest downside about the Pixel phone, it just takes so long. You get a mint result, you get a really good result from this phone doing this sort of photography, especially with the stars. It is by far one of my favorite phones to doing like camp photography. When I'm camping, got a fire going, it exposes for the fire differently to what it exposes for the car and the camper and the stars. It just does such a good job of doing this. It's the easiest one, just as easy as the iPhone, I guess, but the results will be better. Yeah, it's done. Looks mint. Happy days. You see a bit of the stars up there. You can see the car really well exposed. I think overall it's a pretty bloody good photo. Look, you can do this until the bloody cows come home. I'm doing it here with 3 different phones. You're going to get better results the more you do with just the one phone. If you just had an iPhone and you spent more time with an iPhone, did more light painting, you'll get the right sort of brightness for your torch, the duration that you'd paint. You'll get it better and fine tune it. You can spend a couple hours doing this and end up with some bloody mint photos. The more you do it, if you've got friends around, you're helping each other out, it can be a lot of fun, trust me on that. A few little points to make here. One, you're not going to get nearly as good a photo of this, like this, as what you do with a big boy camera, like I said before. 2, all phones that we showed here tonight all can shoot RAW to some extent. That is the raw image. If you're into photography, you know what I'm talking about. And because they shoot RAW, you're going to get a little bit better result with RAW, and you can edit them better. When in fact you have to edit the RAW photos. I'm not going to do that here. This video has probably gone for way too long. I'll edit up all 3 of these photos and I'll show you what they look like now. If you want to know how to do that sort of thing, just go to my other channel. This video is probably way too long for this channel already. Anyways, that covers most phones. If you've got any sort of Android phone, anything that runs on the Android system, then you've got the Huawei phones that run on the Harmony OS. Some people in Australia may have that, but if you're not watching from Australia, you may well have that phone. Anything that you can do manually, you can do the same as what we did with the Samsung phone, and you'll get around it that way. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you want to see anything a little more like this, please let me know. I'm not sure if this video is going to do well on this channel. I'd put the post out there on the community tab of the photo that I took of the vehicle a few weeks ago, and everyone that answered said they wanted to see how to do it. So that's how you do it. Anyway guys, that's it for today. I'll catch you later.